Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday morning webinar where we share thoughts and ideas with you so that you can help build your LifeWave business. Um, we're going to get started here this morning, and my name is Liz Hodges. I help Gregory and Robin with a lot of different variety of things. And so this morning I'm going to be sharing the presentation with you. And today we're going to be hearing some great information from David Schmidt, no other than. And he's going to be talking about the X20 machine. And then afterwards, we'll have time for a few Q&A, but not many. So if you have any questions, write them down and I'll see if I can answer them. And if I can't, then I'm going to recommend you get with your upline team person and they can help you with that then. So without any further ado, I'm going to get our presentation started. So I'm going to share the volume.
To understand about this is that the X20 machine has a number of significant features. So, for example, you can put regular tap water into it, and we have two separate stages of filtration. So we're going to take out the forever chemicals, heavy metals, pesticides, chlorine, so forth. And then we're going to go through a separate carbon block. We're going to infuse hydrogen into the water, and we're also going to make the water slightly alkaline. But the main feature is that we are infusing light into the water. So that's the first thing that you should think about. That's the main benefit, and the other features of the machine are exactly that. They're features. So what are some of the benefits that people can expect from X20? First thing that you'll notice when you dispense the machine, and the reason this has taken us years to develop this machine is that this started as a piece of laboratory equipment that we built in my lab that was about 3 feet wide and 9 feet long. And I had the vision with our engineering team of this has to be as simple as someone putting a glass in the machine, pressing a button, and out comes light infused water, right?
Liz, are you there?
It's frozen.
Yeah, I've got nothing as well.
It's frozen for me too.
Me too.
Into an organized structure that allows the water to provide superior hydration. We would refer to this as a reduced surface tension. Many of you will know what that is. We reduce the surface tension, it gets into the cell, hydrates the cell. And actually, what Janine and I were talking about was that many people have a problem drinking water, and a glass of X20 goes down very, very easily because it's so smooth. Because we're getting more water into the cell, we can get a boost in energy and metabolism. So for about 3 to 5 hours after drinking a glass of X20, you're going to notice you have more energy. And many people have to run to the bathroom after the glass because you're detoxing. X20 functions as an antioxidant, so that's another benefit, and other benefits as well, like sports performance. And of course, this has been designed to be a system. So in other words, you're going to add Celergized morning over to X2O, and that's going to help. Then X2O acts as a delivery system, so more of those nutrients get into the cell, and then of course you combine it with the benefits of our X39 patch. So this all ties together. The patches work better when people are hydrated. No surprise there. So it all comes full circle. So we can think of this as 3 technologies in one, or more if you will, but light infusion is at the top. We filter this water through 2 different stages, and we enrich the water with hydrogen, and we give the water a slightly alkaline state. Okay, let's focus in on light. Light has been around a long time, since the creation of the universe, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So right at the very, very beginning of Genesis. But what exactly is light? Light is the most extraordinary thing in our reality. We take it for granted because from the moment that we're born, we're exposed to light and we normalize it. But it's helpful to say that for most of recorded history, human beings have not really understood what light is. In spirituality, it's been known that we are beings of light and that God is a being of light. And that's very interesting because as we study light scientifically, the connection between the physical world and the spiritual world becomes more self-evident. So let's talk about that. And once we understand what light is, then we can begin to understand how we actually would infuse light into water. Water in and of itself is an extraordinarily unusual material. If we look at the periodic table, water actually should be a gas at room temperature. Water is the only material, I believe, that's known that will actually become less dense as it solidifies. So water will expand, and that one feature, that one single feature of water is what allows for life on planet Earth. If water became more dense like any other liquid, that means ice would settle to the bottom of a lake, and that would kill all of the life in the lake, or in the ocean for that matter. So this property of water is rather magical, and it is, in fact, what allows for life on planet Earth. So we're taking 2 of the most unusual and magnificent materials in our world, and we're combining them. So let's go back. Let's start our journey today back at 1672. We could go further back, but let's start with Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists that ever lived. And the formulas that Newton created around gravitation are still used today. He was known as the preeminent scientist in his day, and he conducted experiments where his belief was that light are corpuscles, or tiny streams of particles. So it's important to keep that in mind. About the same time, we had other scientists that did experiments and said, no, light is in fact a wave. But because Newton was so famous, people at that time went with the particle theory. But here we have 2 different sets of experiments, one seeming to prove that light is a particle, and the other seeming to prove that light is a wave. Then we have an experiment that occurred in 1801 by Young, and this experiment is still talked about today, and people reproduce this today and are experimenting with variations of it, but it's called the double slit experiment, and what it seems to show is that light is in fact a wave. So in other words, you send a stream of photons or even single pulses of photons towards this barrier. The photons travel through one of these slits, and creates an interference pattern. You have bands of light strips and then darker bands. And what that is showing is that you have waves that collide, and either the energy of the waves build upon themselves, making the darker strips, or they start to nullify themselves. They break apart, making the lighter colored strips. So this seemed to prove that light is in fact a wave. Now, another one of the greatest scientists of all time, James Clerk Maxwell, gave us 4 fundamental equations showing the relationship between electricity and magnetism. And that an electrical field will create a magnetic field, and a magnetic field will create an electrical field, so electromagnetic waves propagate through space in this fashion. And Maxwell said, well, let's calculate the speed of an electromagnetic wave, like a radio wave. And it came out that the speed of propagation is the speed of light. So Maxwell reasoned that if a radio wave travels at the speed of light, then light must be an electromagnetic wave. So as we would say during the pandemic, the science was settled, right? That was a famous thing to say during the pandemic. The science is settled. However, it wasn't settled because Einstein comes along in 1905. And of course, we think of Einstein as the theory of relativity, that you take a large mass like the Earth or the Moon, and it creates a warping of space, and that's what creates gravity. But actually, Einstein never got a Nobel Prize for that. He got the Nobel Prize for the photoelectric effect. And the photoelectric effect, Einstein said that light travels in packets called quanta. They were later renamed photons. And that the experiments were that you would take light of different frequencies. So you could take a red light or a blue light, shine it on a piece of metal like copper, and electrons would not come off the metal with the red light, but they would with the blue light. So keep this short. That indicates that light is a stream of particles. So you can see we get into an enormous problem here. We have one set of experiments by Young. We have the mathematical formulas by Maxwell showing that light is a wave. And now we have another set of experiments which are proving that light is a particle. So what is light? Is it a particle or a wave? And why does any of this matter? And what does this have to do with X2O? We have to wait a while. We have to wait to the 1940s. Richard Feynman, one of the most famous physicists of all time, along with 3 other scientists, gives us quantum electrodynamics. And to make a long story short, light is a quantum object. One way to think about this, we should not think of light as a wave, and we should not think about light as being like little balls that we throw, like a particle. Light is something very, very different. You can think of light as existing outside of space and time, and it will appear in our space and behave like a wave or behave like a particle, depending on the circumstances. Even the path of a photon is described in terms of an amplitude or a probability. So a photon can literally take any path, and when calculating the path of a photon, you take vectors, you sum all the vectors up, and then the probability is where that photon is going to go, and that actually matches up with classical physics. So this is all to say that this theory of quantum electrodynamics, it's the most accurately tested, most thoroughly tested principle in all of physics. I think it goes out to 11, 12, or 13 decimal points. inaccuracy. So this is all to say, sometimes people can be skeptical about LifeWave, even though we've got over 80 clinical studies now in the past 20 years. We can frame that around this idea that something that we live with every day, gravity, light, for most of recorded history, the greatest scientific minds of their age did not know what light was. So we shouldn't be skeptical. We should always be keeping an open mind. So now let's come full circle and talk about what this has to do with X2O. Because it's very important, because if we thought of light as being a particle or wave, there's no actual way to store the light in water. But because it's a quantum object with special properties, that means we can invent technology to take advantage of those properties and trap the photon as a virtual mass inside of opposing water molecules. So we jump ahead to Dr. Luc Montaigne, who, interestingly enough, his laboratory contacted us in about 2019 or so, right after the launch of X39. They wanted to study it. And he's a Nobel Prize-winning scientist. And that's important because he's not an everyday run-of-the-mill doctor working in a lab. He was heavily criticized for his work in homeopathy because the standard medical institution doesn't want to recognize homeopathy. But he believed that he had a way of explaining this with quantum electrodynamics. And basically homeopathy was going to trap information in coherent domains. So a quick lesson on homeopathy. What you do is let's say we're in allergy season right now. So let's say we have someone that's allergic to tree pollen. You can take the pollen, put it in water, you shake it or success it, and that sends an impact through the water. You are imprinting the water with information. You dilute it, you keep diluting it, and eventually the information of the pollen ends up in the water, and this acts as a therapy for people that have allergies. So how is this actually working? How do you create coherent domains in water? We do it in X2O. First, we treat liquid water as an open system, meaning that water molecules are actually electromagnetic dipoles. We look at the structure of the water molecule, and it closely resembles an electromagnetic antenna, just like you would have for a radio or a radio wave or a cell phone. So that means liquid water is capable of interacting with electromagnetic fields. Under the right conditions, and this is the important part, the water molecules can line up where they can form coherent domains. What we do with X2O is we have a precise series of wavelengths of light that we use. If you were to open the machine, you see that they're oriented in a specific way at a specific distance with a specific condition between them. And this allows for the formation of coherent domains. When we expose water to light, the water molecules now line up and they begin to oscillate. And this oscillation traps a photon as an electromagnetic wave between two adjoining water molecules. Interestingly, in quantum electrodynamics, a photon can achieve a relative mass. Photons normally don't have any mass. That's why they can reach the speed of light. But in this example, the photon actually takes on a virtual mass, which allows it to be trapped. So this explains and answers a question people have. How long will the water remain stable? This is now easy to understand. If we heat the water, like try to make coffee out of it, we're adding energy into the system, so the water is going to break down. So it will last a shorter period of time. If we expose the water to other sources of light, like sunlight, it'll start to break down. If we keep the water in the dark and we reduce the temperature, now the water will stay stable longer. So under normal conditions, keep the water out of the dark, keep it cool, the water will stay stable for several hours, 3, 4, 5 hours. So we have this specific processing method that I invented that traps photons as electromagnetic oscillations between the dipoles of water. So this is what we call coherent domain. So what happens when we drink this water? That would be the best question. We have 6 clinical studies now, and the incredible part is that we show people respond within 15 seconds drinking the water when they're being measured. I've seen some testimonials going around where people are in front of infrared cameras. In about 1 or 2 minutes, you actually see the body changing after drinking the water. In our studies, we had over 250 people, I think it was 280 people in those studies drink our water. 100% of the people had measurable changes within minutes of drinking it. We did urine testing. To me, this was one of the most exciting things that we've done. We've done tests to show how X2O improves the electrical potential of the cells, but the urine testing is so interesting because we actually see how the metabolism improves from drinking X2O. And we don't make this claim because we're doing more work on it, but we see a connection between drinking X2O and upregulation of the energy system in the cell. And that a claim that we make is that drinking X2O improves energy production, and we're just trying to see what that pathway is. On a very, very practical level, within minutes of drinking the water, this effect lasts 3 to 5 hours, and people report better energy for that time, improved cognition, better mental clarity. It's like almost like you're waking up, you have an expanded awareness. Circulation is improving, athletic performance improves. Because the benefits last for hours, we currently recommend that you shouldn't drink the water 4 or 5 hours before you want to go to sleep. Otherwise, it may keep you awake longer than you want to. So to sum this all up, X2O is going to improve your hydration, which is a very powerful health effect. We deliver an antioxidant through the water, which is hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most powerful antioxidant. The results are very quick. You don't have to wait around for weeks. Most people are going to experience benefits the first day. Supports bioelectrical effects in the body. One of the things that's closely associated with aging is a decrease in energy production and energy flow. That's all linked to mitochondrial function. So we're really excited about this because it provides one of the most basic benefits for all human beings. We recommend consuming Celergize morning with X2O. And that way X2O acts as a delivery system, getting those nutrients into the cell for enhanced benefits. And of course, all of our patches work better when the cells are properly hydrated. So X39, all of our patches, Celergize morning, X2O, they all go together into a single system.
Is it muted again?
Nope, we came to the end of it. So that was very interesting, and that was part of the Product Connect webinar that was done yesterday. And so it will be available on let's see, hold on a second here. I'm trying to get this fixed. So it will be available on our YouTube channel, and I saw somebody had asked where do we go to see the YouTube videos, and you can go to liveyoungeryoutube.com, and that's where our Live Younger videos reside at. So that will be loaded up there later on today. I had to do a little bit of editing, and the full Product Connect will be on there. This particular video that we just watched is going to be on our Vimeo account because we have another use that we're going to do for it. And so we'll be putting that in the liveyoungersuccess.com. I'll put the links in there where those videos are. That will be done also later on this afternoon. So with that, let's see if we had any other questions. And then also, if you have any questions, if you'll raise your hand, and then I'll call on you and you can unmute yourself and I'll try to answer them. I know we've got Coach Jim on here, so if you have questions about the water machine, we can potentially answer those questions too. But I just find this machine is just brilliant and just very grateful that we have a leader in David Schmidt that is as wise and forthright as he is. So let me go. I don't see where the chat is. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to open up the chat and see if I can see what any questions are. And Allie, you have your hand up.
I would love to give a huge shout out to Coach Jim. I did the water series in April, and I hadn't been to his routine class that he's offering on Thursday evenings until this past Thursday, and it was off the charts. So, Coach Jim, thank you. You inspired me to create an event in my home where I'm going to offer for people that are local to come and get water, and then also for people that are not here in this area to be able to jump on, so I can have people, whether they're here in my home, us gathering and watching you teach on this topic, and share water at the same time, or if they're in another state. I just love the access that you've given, so thank you.
Well, thank you.
So my question, Liz, all that. My question is, Jim, do you have an idea of how long you'll continue the water series?
My plans are to continue doing it. Everybody needs to get educated. I mean, some people have been to one or two or three classes and they think they have enough, which is fine. And then we keep learning from each other. And then I have my guest speakers lined up. We do have Janine coming up here in June, and also David Schmidt in June will be one of our guest speakers again. Dr. Filzer will be another speaker coming up over the next couple of weeks. So
thanks again.
Great. And tonight is Jim's next water presentation. So he put the flyer in the chat there. So go look at that. And it's X20zoom.com is where you can get that. And I think it's at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is 8 p.m. East Coast time.
And then maybe,
one thing,
yeah,
Liz, we still use the other one as well. The other
which
link
is bethelightwater.com, I think it is.
Right.
So, yep, that's still pointed to there. So anyway, this was just absolutely fabulous. And so we're going to be having some different things coming forward here very soon of how you can use what we currently have with the water. Gregory and Robin are working on a couple of different projects that will be coming about here in a few weeks. And so it's important to stay connected and watch our Live Younger lifewaysuccess.com website and join us on these Thursday calls. And also the newsletter that comes out each week is also loaded with information. So it has all of our weekly Zooms calendar for the week. And Jan is asking, Jim, what is the link to your YouTube channel, please?
The link to mine, you just go to Jim Gilliland and then you put at signal, the sign, and then New Technologies International, which is capital N for new, capital T for, and then international, New Technologies International. You can find it there.
Okay, great. So that's wonderful. And Jim, we really appreciate all that you're doing with sharing with the team these different speakers that you bring on. So I think that's pretty much it for this morning, unless somebody else has any questions.
Liz, we have some hands up.
Yes.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Yeah. I put my hand up. Hi, Liz. Thank you so much for doing that slice of last night's incredible event. That this can be, because some people won't want to listen for a whole hour, but they will listen to this piece that you put together. So thank you for that. I just appreciate you so much. And oh gosh, I just wanted to say that one of my brand partners went and drove all the way to Arizona because we're in California. We are suffering here with not being able to purchase it yet. And would love to know when. Jim, if you know when California might get that, if you have any insider information, we'd love to know. But one of my brand partners drove to Arizona, drove all the way back to California with her machine. And she told me yesterday that her neighbor had this one foot that had athlete's foot so badly, and it was cracked and bleeding, these deep ridges. My brand partner brought over, some X20. She soaked her foot in it. I don't know for how long. Next day, completely, and I'm going to say the word again, completely healed. So, yes, I've soaked my feet in it just to get the, like the detox effect. And, I love it. But we need to hear more stories and have just stories galore because they are miraculous. I mean, being able to sleep through the night and not get up to use the bathroom, having the energy of a 30-year-old at the age of almost 76, this is truly a gift from the Father of Lights in heaven. So thank you.
You're welcome. And Jim, I think I spelled your name wrong the first time I put it in the chat. His last name is Gilliland, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, okay, next we have Julie.
Yes, I was curious. Thank you, Norma, for sharing that incredible story. And that leads me to say, is there any place that we can access testimonies that have been shared, not to put it out there in front of the masses, but just with, people we want to help and people we want to invite to learn more about this?
Liz?
Not to my knowledge yet, but Jim, do you know of any place?
Well, we do on Thursday nights, we do a time for testimonials. So we do education, training, testimonials, then we do a Q&A session.
Okay.
Last week we went long. I mean, we wrap up the call with an hour, but then we do an hour we spent on Q&A. So Thursday nights, they can come to that.
Great. Oh, thank you so much. Okay.
Great. Well, thank you. Debbie, you're up next.
Hi, Liz. Thanks so much for hosting today. This is a question for Coach Jim. Something I've been saying to people as I'm explaining that the light will dissipate gradually And they're kind of thinking, well, then do I just toss the water out? Is it not good then? And so I've been trying to head that off by saying this, and I want to know if this is a true statement and if it's acceptable for me to say. So I said, even after the light begins to dissipate, you still have the cleanest water you'll find anywhere outside of a remote mountain stream. Is that accurate? I want them to
Yeah,
understand there's value to this water
yeah.
all the way to the
There's
last of the glass.
yeah, there's the water is still purified, and then the water still stays alkaline. The antioxidants dissipate as well because that's the hydrogen that dissipates pretty rapidly. The idea is not to store the water, but to drink the water fresh from the machine. And so, um, only reason why someone might want to store it or hold on to it is they want to cool it off something in like a refrigerator. But there's there's other ways. In fact, Dave Uhouse spoke last week about how to keep your water cooler longer or keep it cold when you dispense it. And
Right.
so all that stuff we talk about on Thursday night's call, but the water, I mean, why would you throw away a bottle of purified water?
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, I think you just tell them, the water we remove the toxins from the water. The water, the light infusion stays active 4 to 6 hours. And yeah, that's what I would do is just keep it focused on the purity of the water.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Next, Lindsay, you're up.
Yes, thank you. I first of all, I just want to say, this water is amazing. I'm sad that it does not filter fluoride, but I understand that because not every town puts fluoride in their water. So I have a Berkey filter that I use for my fluoride. But I had an amazing experience just 2 days ago, and I want to share it with everybody. I was dancing around, having a wonderful time because there was a beautiful song playing, and I flung my hand up and it smashed into the corner of our granite countertop. And I really thought I broke something. It was really hurting. I just poured water on it. I just poured this water on it, and the pain went away, and I never had a single problem after that. It's mind blowing. And I've also used it on poison ivy and the same kind of results. So just thought I'd share with everybody because this is poison ivy season. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Latrice.
Yes, hello. Thank you again. You are amazing, Miss Liz. We appreciate you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I just wanted to share that for the past couple of weeks, I've been giving myself what I call a day of light. And it starts with, of course, having my X20 first thing in the morning. But then, I'll wash my hair, do my conditioner, rinse that out, take my shower, and brush my teeth. When I brush my teeth, I put the X20 in my mouth because I know there's this sublingual thing that happens when anything goes under the tongue, and I hold it in my mouth. I'll swish it around in my mouth. I take a picture of the X20 and I just pour it over myself. I pour it over my face. I let it go in my hair. I pour it over my body, and then I let everything air dry. And then when it's dry, then I apply my patches. I was doing it in the shower, and then I got smart and I said, let me do it in my jacuzzi tub. So I stand in the tub so that way when the water hits the bottom, my feet are still in it because you have all those nerve endings at the bottom of your feet. And that's where I stand to air dry, and I do stretches and exercises. And then I apply my patches, and then I put on everything white. My undies are white. My clothing is white. I put on white socks, and I just feel amazing. I call it my day of light.
Wow, that's cool. Very cool. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, and then I do have my X20 and Celergize after that. Forgot that.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Perfect. So Janet reminded everyone that in your back office under the resources tab, you click on the marketing tools, and then you click on the section search tab and click on the X20, and you'll find all the resources there that you need for for the X2O. Now, in addition, if you want to go to the Live Younger Success and go to the Products tab, the very first sub tab under there is X2O, and we have pretty much all those same resources there, but they're a little bit more organized, I think, than trying to find everything in the back office. So you have that as an option as well for getting information on the water. So let's see, we've got a couple new messages. That's great. Okay, Jim put the flyer, or I guess Jan Kennedy put the flyer back in for tonight. So if you want to grab that real quick before we end the call, you can just download it there. And Diane is asking, are there X2O glasses available anywhere? What I would suggest doing is going to your local like not fresh market. What's the Amazon one? I can't think of the name of the Whole Foods. And look there if you have a Whole Foods near you, or you could probably go on Amazon and look for some dark bottled little glasses. I know a friend of mine has gotten some of it's a dark blue glass. I know you can get brown. And Victoria said she ordered brown quart jars from Amazon to bring the X2O water. So they're available resources. And if you use Amazon, it can get delivered right to you wherever you're at. So you don't have to have a Whole Foods near you or a Trader Joe's, or, you might even be able to get something off of the Walmart website too, because there's a lot of places. If you just Google it, you'll be able to find small glass jars or small glasses that are actually dark brown or dark blue colored. So Diane's saying, I'm actually wanting what was it? She's wanting something printed on it. Let's see. Actually wanting a glass that has X2O printed on it. Well, what I would suggest doing is getting the logo, and then you can, there's products out there that you can print onto that will then go on to glasses. And I wouldn't put them in the dishwasher then. I would hand wash them. So, but there's resources. Yes.
Hey, Liz, I think that you can purchase X2O glasses in the back office, in your back office. I think I heard that the other day.
Okay, well, go look at those resources then.
I'm not sure, but I thought I heard someone say that the other day.
That would be very lovely. Okay.
I might also say, I see that there's a password for the X20Zoom.com. The password is going to be X39, it looks like, guys.
Correct.
So
Correct.
make sure you
use that password
in there so that you can join, I think. And then I have a couple of testimonies from my wife as well. She says she doesn't even have to wear makeup anymore. She sprays the water on her face. So she's very excited about her complexion, and also that pain thing. When she has a little bit of pain in her hip, she just sprays it, and oh my gosh, she said in seconds her pain goes away in her hip, Scott. So.
Wow, very cool. Well, thanks, Lavelle. Okay, Elavet, you have your hand raised. You want to unmute? She may be on a phone, and sometimes that's a bit tricky. So, Dr. Latrice, while Elavet's trying to unmute, why don't you go ahead and...
Okay, it's just really, really quick. Those X2O glasses that you see in the video, those were sent out to people who got replacement machines. From what I understand from customer service, those are not available for sale.
I'm ready.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
I was going to just ask, there's flyers. Well, first of all, good day, everyone. There's flyers you said about tonight's call. I was just trying to locate that.
It's down in the chat. So if you open up the meeting chat, the flyer is there. Go from the very bottom, and somebody just posted it. I think Jan reposted it in there.
Okay.
That you can grab, and you need to grab it before the call ends because once it's closed, you can't get it. So let me see if I can grab it here again and let's see. Oh shoot, it's printing onto my computer. All right, well, let's see. Let me click download and see if I can add it back in here. And or if Jim, if you can repost it, that would be great. If you've got it handy. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Tricia. So, okay, Allie, you have your hand raised.
Again, yes, this conversation about jars and bottles, it reminded me actually, there's on Amazon these 16-ounce blue mason jars with lids. And one of my questions I did have is there a preference of the cap? Like, should you buy the replacement plastic caps or use the metal ones that come with it? What is a better option of the two? Jim, do you want to comment on that by chance? And I did put the link for it in the chat for these blue mason jars.
Yeah, most of those metal caps have a silicone seal underneath them, so you're not going to have an issue. And you're not going to lose your hydration or the light just because of metal with the water. I would say, and you don't have to have dark blue or amber. Just keep it out of the sunlight.
Excellent.
We don't want getting hung up on having to have amber or a cobalt blue or something else. Yeah, it's nice if you go outside, but even then, light goes through those glass bottles. So the things
if
that
you put it
destroy,
in the refrigerator, it's going to be dark in there anyway until you open
Yeah.
up the refrigerator door.
yeah, wrap a brown paper sack around it. Drunk's been doing that for years without a problem.
There you go.
That's what I've done.
Well, thank you. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, let's see.
I have one more. A
Go
little
ahead.
quick one. So sometimes I deal with seniors who dial in for the different calls. And is there an ID number? Because when I've tried to do it on the flip phone to dial in, the phone doesn't recognize the X. You know what I'm saying? It won't recognize the X. It'll only recognize the first. I just can't get in dialing in. How about that? Is there a way to get in, Jim, without, like with the other Zoom calls? If you call 699, you can put all the ID numbers in and get to each call. Is there a way to get to your particular call any other way other than hitting X39 as the password? Or
No,
the
you know what? It doesn't even require the passcode. It's there for, in case someone has an issue. But no, if you just click on, x20zoom.com or the power of light is powerofthelightwater.com. Either one, it'll just enter it in. It'll put you right in the call.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I just have the password there. They want our calls like this to be password protected because we do a lot of stuff. We talk about a lot of things that are not certified or approved by our compliance department. So that's why, right now it's people wanted a copy of my slides, my PowerPoint, and I have to wait for compliance to approve that. So yeah, just, click on the link that comes out in your email. If you don't get the email, send me an email and I will just go ahead and send you the links. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And my email's simple. It's info@stemcellrestoration.com.
info@stemcellrestoration.com. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Where is the dial-in number? I don't see it on the flyer.
It'd be on an invitation, so to Zoom. So that's where the dial-in number would be. But Jim, maybe going forward, you might want to put the dial-in number as a alternative on your flyer. So
yeah, it's on. In fact, I'll see if I can find it while you guys talk.
Okay.
So
Because it has required the X39 passcode for me every time in order to enter the Zoom.
Well, that's if you're going in via the Zoom itself, but if you dial in,
You don't actually need the password when you dial in. You just put the ID number.
Liz, could you state once more how to find the dial-in number? Because I have one brand partner that always needs that.
okay, I think Jim's looking for it right now for
No,
what.
but I mean, you made a statement that how to find a dial-in number.
Oh, well, you have to get it from the Zoom invitation.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and I think
Got
that
it.
that's what Jim is looking for right
Okay,
now
got it. Got
is
it. Got it.
that
Got it.
piece of information.
Thanks.
So, yep. So it's on a Zoom invitation. And there's always in fact, if you look at our text messages, we always have a dial-in number option at the end of the text message. So it's similar to what that is. So anyway. Okay, Kate, you have your hand up.
Yes, I wanted to get a distinction about metal. I believe I've heard on the calls that we can put the X2O water in stainless steel, but not other metals. Just trying to get a verification on that.
you know what? The one thing about when you put in metals, if it's a vacuum sealed bottle with the, what do they call it? The thermal bottles with the multi-layer. I would always, encourage people to use stainless steel and not use aluminum. I just got to think about aluminum. So,
Okay, so we can use stainless steel if we know it's for sure stainless steel.
yeah, yep, and they should be marked.
Thank
Now,
you.
the guys that I just put the post in there, and it'll say every week until June 25th. June 25th, I will renew it, so it'll keep going on and on, as far as the call goes. But the links are there, and the meeting passcodes, the phone numbers are all there in the chat.
All right, so just copy them and paste them somewhere so that you've got those.
Yeah.
Then you can use those directly. So, okay. Okay, so Brenda, even though I hear you saying other BPs are saying no metal, Jim is very knowledgeable of this. In fact, he was on the team that was helping David prior to the launch with this product. And Jim's been in the water business for a couple of decades, if I remember right. But anyway, I like to listen to people that are in the know, and Jim is definitely in the know. So, okay, Valerie, and then I think we'll bring this call to a close. So go ahead, Valerie. She may be on a cell phone again, and it's, as I said, it's a little tricky trying to get unmuted on the cell phone. So let me see if I can help by asking her.
Okay, now, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I had to go back to my face. Okay, so now for those that were talking about the amber and the blue bottles or glasses, what I did is I ordered the blue and the amber glasses. It's got a lid on it. But what I did is they have that I always call horse wrap. It's an elastic band that it sticks to itself. I wrap the bottles with that horse wrap probably twice around. And you look in the bottle and there is no light that goes in the bottle. Now, this is what I do. I mean, it's just kind of weird, but this is what I did with my amber bottles. And that way I know there's very little light that can get into it. So just an idea.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you. So I presume that would work on a regular bottle too, besides the
Yes, it'll
in the
go on
blue.
any kind of bottle. I mean, you can find it in the human side of the, like your drugstores and stuff, but a lot of times you can't get the dark colors. It's the dark colors because if you use anything else, the light will come in. But the dark colors, it will stop more light. And so, and you can get that at any, farm store or anything. And I'm sure you could probably get it someplace else too. But I'm out in the country, so this is where I get mine.
Yeah. Hey, Lebecki's saying that you can get that wrap at the dollar store. So that's good.
Oh, sure. Sure. But try and get the dark colors because that breaks more light.
Yep.
The one at the dollar store is black and it's now $1.50, but it's well worth it.
Oh, yes. Yes. So just an idea. Thank you.
All right.
It's called horse wrap, HORSE. Horse.
Well, that's what I call it. I'm not sure what it's called.
Vet, VET for veterinarian, vet wrap. We have a horse ranch. And, yeah, that's what we use.
Thanks, Jim.
Actually, in the dollar store, it's where the bandages are because it's for people. And I use it with my husband who falls because he has Parkinson's, and it's
sure.
You can't buy it for that price anywhere else. So head to your dollar
No,
store.
you can't. No.
Right.
And it stays on for a long time. I mean, it's not like a one-time use. As long as you don't get the outside wet, you just wash the inside of the bottle, it will stay. I've had mine on now for, almost 3 weeks, and it has not let go yet. So.
Okay. Well, great. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very much. Oh, Lavelle, you've got your hand raised, and then we'll conclude after you. So go ahead, please.
I don't know if it's been mentioned, but we got a few more days left for the double PIV promotion, guys. Just remember that. Let your groups know that.
Yes. And that's on the What's New under Live Younger Success. You can get the full details there. It's easy to find. So, okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate you and coming on, and we all learn more together. So thanks, and we'll see you
Thank you,
next.
Liz.
You're welcome.
Great job. Great job.
Liz.
Thank you,
Bye.
Liz.
Hey, Dr. Latrell.
Well done.
Say
Thank you, Liz.
Josefina.
Appreciate you.
Better
All you do, even
Hey,
with the
boy.
computer.
Have a good X39 day.
Ernestine. Everyone. Lil.
Have a day of light.
Teresa.
Here you go. Take care.
Thank you, Liz.
See you
Have a great
tonight,
one, guys.
Jen.
Let's do it.
Good info.
Bye-bye.